Life is so busy. If you blink, you can miss something amazing. It's important to take a moment and enjoy what we have and the people around us. I'm Mo Hagan, Chief Operating Officer for CanFit Pro, and welcome to A Moment with Mo, a podcast where I will welcome some incredible guests to talk fitness and nutrition, mindset and self-empowerment, setting our goals into action, and much, much more. Now let's get chatting. Welcome to A Moment with Mo. I'm Mo Hagan, your host. And on this show, we dive into deep, meaningful conversations with extraordinary leaders who move people to greatness, sharing stories that fuel passion, purpose, and drive the difference in the world that empowers others to do the same. I really believe that leadership means exactly that. Inspiring the positive change in the world that we all desire and empowering others to reach their full potential. Each of my guests to the show bring their lived experiences, offering authentic lessons, fresh inspiration, and practical insights to help elevate your life, your career, and the impact that you will make in 2026. Together, we strive to create the momentum so you can lead with heart and spark greatness in not only yourself, but in all of those around you. My guest today, I'm so thrilled to be able to be joined by Milad Emadi. He is the 2025 CanFit Pro Fitness Professional of the Year in the area of personal training specialist. He is the Director of Performance Coaching at MOVATI Athletic. Milad has over 20 years of experience in the fitness industry, and he's built a very highly respected career for himself while inspiring hundreds of skilled, if not thousands, of skilled fitness professionals to be as respected in their work as he is. Milad has helped them become best-in-class trainers and coaches, and it is his leadership, his passion, and his commitment to elevating the profession, which makes him a true force in the industry and a true example of the leaders of today, sparking the future. So please welcome Milad. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Mo.
Great to see you.
Good to see you. Well, long time.
I know. I remember the day fondly where we were shoulder to shoulder, hug to hug, on main stage at CanFit Pro Global in August. I can't believe it's been this many months since, but that was our last moment together, and it's so great to be here with you today.
Absolutely. Well, honestly, I would say I got to pause and recognize you. Like you were true inspirations to our industry, like your commitments and ability to, positively influence people and create an opportunity like this that we can have great conversations. So it's an honor to be with you and share this space with you.
Well, thank you. And I'm sharing space with you and very humbled. I know how busy you are, but I do have to say that, the perfect example of a leader is you, because you have had decades in the industry. And one thing I know to be true about yourself is you not only lead by example, but you are a pathfinder. You're always looking for new ways to move the industry forward, inspire health and fitness professionals, and doing that by your own leadership. And that's the most important lesson that I think could be a good way to start off our conversation today. Is it begins with self. Just like self-care, it's self-leadership. And so we're going to talk all about leadership, and I can't wait to hear some of your lessons and your stories. We can talk about why things are important, like education and certification and striving to, build something within your repertoire. But really, it's about the journey and the story that will inspire others to perhaps reset their own journey as we embark on this new year. And I think it's great to kick it off with you, because a lot of people don't know this, but January is, in some parts of the world, celebrating National Personal Training Day on the 2nd of January. And while Canada doesn't have that celebration, I think we should start it. So that's why we're here together.
I'm on. Let's make it happen. I have my teas. I'm ready to go.
All right, let's do it. Well, as I said, you've really built an impressive journey from coaching clients one-on-one to leading a personal training department and a whole performance training team. And you're at one of the most respected fitness industry chains within Canada, MOVATI Athletic. You certainly have beautiful and impressive clubs and teams. And look at that beautiful place behind you in your image for those watching today. And perhaps you can share where that image comes from. I do have a couple questions to kick us off. The first one is, can you share with us what inspired you to pursue a career in fitness, in the health and fitness industry? And how has your path evolved over the years? And perhaps with that share, you can impart a few lessons that has shaped you as a leader and mentor.
Thank you, and I appreciate the kind words. Where do I start? So, like, my journey with fitness started in 1999 in a small and old and rusty gym. And I was young. I loved the iron. I loved the lifting. And honestly, I never imagined that one day it becomes a lifelong career. I grew up in a highly academic family. Like, my father was a professor, a veterinary surgeon, taught in university for 45 years and had many international papers. So, and my mother was also a university teacher and dean of nursing school. So you can imagine the standard was very high, like where the bar was very high, and like the idea of high educations and leaderships and contributions was a standard. So, like, I have two siblings, my brother and sister, and our mindset was like, we're either going to become a doctor or engineering. There's no other way around it, right? So, so I know my parents were incredibly supportive, no matter what directions we would go, but we set that up in our mindset. So we all went and completed our engineering degrees. My brother was engineering, yes. My sister was a computer engineering, and I did the industrial engineering and quality management. But fitness was deep in us, right? So we started very early and young. And what's interesting is today, all of us are in the fitness industry. We all work at MOVATI Athletic. Brother and sister are in Ottawa, very well respected coaches. And as you know, my brother is also a pro trainer who certifies individuals in Ottawa regions to start a career in there. So, like, just to go back into the conversation, is 25, 26 years ago, fitness wasn't respected the way it is today. Like, it was a hobby. Like, conversation was, when are you going to get a real job? And let's just say I took it personally, like, not from an ego, but like, I believe that that's not the case, right? And like, my mind works like this: is if I commit to something, I'm going to keep doing it until I can, as far as I possibly can go, and grow with it. And let's just say I'm a little competitive with it, that nature. So I've shared with many people, like, my why and my passion and my mission around fitness is like, it was always around fitness is a real career. It's well respected. It's a high impact profession in a public health, and you can go until you can retire from it. And like, I miss training people. Like, I'm now sitting in the leadership positions, but I train clients relentlessly, 28,000 hours on the floor, and I learned, I failed, gathered testimonials, had multiple award recognitions, decided to go through an operations, open my own fitness franchise for 5 years, and eventually just kind of find my path into a company that was aligned their values with me, which was MOVATI Athletic. About 10 years ago, I started with them. And like, when I think about a fitness and like what really drew MOVATI Athletic to me was that people first mindset. Like, we always say this, that one of our team members are our greatest assets that we have, and we have to invest to their growth and massively. And a second part of it is the innovations, and then the service excellence, and how do we bring the best customer service to our members. And like, premium fitness doesn't need to be flashy. It needs to be consistency of excellence. Like, a club that's clean, it has a high standard, give it great customer service, and no matter what the age of the building is, like, how do we keep it always look like new, right? And over the past 10 years, like, my role also evolved with them. Like, I started from coaching to educating coaches to developing leaders to now about 400. I call them my kids, but 400 coaches and leaders that
400 kids.
The best tools of success for them. So fitness is really close to my heart. And I believe coaching and fitness is one of the most powerful careers someone can have. So for anyone who is listening and is early on the fitness career or wants to go to a fitness, I got to say that like the fitness industry can be an incredible career. Like it's one of the few fields that you grow as a profession, but also you help people grow as humans, right? So you build a real skill, like the leaderships, the communications, you build relationships, you learn disciplines, and over time your opportunity opens up to grow more within the industry, right? So if you're willing to learn and serve and stay consistent, this industry doesn't just give you a job, it gives you a career that's purposeful, like it's high impact, it has a longevity. And I always say you can make a great income wearing a comfy pants and a t-shirt. So it can't get better than that, right? So
you make a great impact wearing comfy pants, or as my son would say, you get to go to work every day in your athletic gear and have a career doing that. Like, bring it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I got to remember
Wow,
your actual question. Actually, I think you said
that was great. You covered it all, except for those watching, they're going to ask, where is that MOVATI location behind you?
Yes. So this is a picture of our Albany locations in Edmonton. So we have been growing out west in Canada. Like a lot of our great people from Ontario also moved from there that we've grown and helped and educate them. Then they're helping us to grow our west. And was one of our newest clubs.
Wow.
Albany location. Inside is unbelievable. Like the first time I went is like my jaw dropped. So it's been very beautiful. They've done really good jobs. And honestly, like beautiful buildings don't do the job if you don't have the right people. So we have a great team as well there that they're managing.
You said that. And I loved what you said, that you can make anything you can make anything great in an old building. It's really the people and it's the purpose and your why. And you said it so eloquently with your own personal, experience as evidence that you can create a thriving career. I loved it. High impact profession, and you can grow as a profession. You can grow as a professional in this industry, but you can also grow the profession as the leader. And you helped us grow this industry from what you said when you started, not truly all that respected. And I remember the day I told my mom I was leaving my highly respected health professional position as a physio in a large teaching hospital here in London, Ontario. But I said to her, Mom, yeah, I'm leaving. She goes, you're leaving? You're going to leave a safe, secure, dream career to be an aerobic instructor the rest of your life? She meant it with great love. And I said, yes, I am. I had no idea how I was going to do that, but that's what leaders do. They say yes because they're connected to the passion that really stirs them, right? To get out of bed every day and serve, as you said, and help inspire others. And so it's just a beautiful, personal philosophy, but it's a lived philosophy, not that really does come from the root of belief. And you have inspired thousands, and you'll go on to inspire more. And that is a great thing, because we need more fitness professionals to help serve the Canadian industry and the global industry. I'm sure you've mentored many, Milad, that now train in other parts of the world, right?
Yes, and I have many opened their own businesses that I celebrate all of their supports and growth. And I have this mindset, and I said, like, leadership is not about being the best. It's about like building and developing people that they can surpass you, right? So I heard a while ago, someone shared with me, it says, number one responsibility of a leader is finding a replacement. So it sounds strange, but it's like, that's where succession planning starts to come in place, right? So at every career stage, I've asked myself and my leaders, like through my teams, I said, like, how do you help a person do what you used to do better than you? Like, that's that 1% improvement constantly you're going to see. Like, how are you going to raise the bar and standard? Because that's how our reputations, this careers start to grow and become well respected, right? So when it comes to leading and mentoring and coaching people, like, we got to start to think, like, really dissect this, say, like, what does opportunity look like? Like, how do we make sure that we can keep raising the standard?
Raising the standard, and how satisfying that feels when you watch those that you've helped to, influence their growth or give them the permission to step into new shoes and see them succeed. It's so rewarding, and it's far more rewarding, I find, than just seeing your own success as you gain accolades. Don't you agree?
100%. Yes. Like, there was a time that we trained clients our clients are now our people, right? So like I look at it the same way. I want to have as many testimonials as possible from our team members now.
I love that. I love that. Well, that's probably a great segue to the next question, which is going to be, again, sort of a multi-part question. So I'll start by asking the first one. The landscape of the fitness industry and even the healthcare industry is changing, and it's faster in that change than ever before. From your perspective, Milad, what are the most significant trends you're observing right now in health and fitness? Perhaps you could dive into the specifics of personal training if you wish, or talk about overall wellness trends. We'll start there. Trends.
You always have great questions. I put aside a lot in research. Like I do go and look at innovations, the fitness trends, and like really see what's rise their platforms. And let me start a conversation with this. I think what's exciting in our fitness industries is I feel like the fitness industry is becoming more complete. Like we start to see a lot of like premium fitness start to talk about longevity, the whole fitness and whole people care, the 360-degree wellness, and like all it means is more opportunity to expand the fitness career and services that coaches can be able to get involved in. So if I think about the trends, the few that comes to my mind, well, obviously we're seeing the rise of performance-based, the community-driven training and challenges are coming back. That high-intensity competitiveness, like High Rocks, right? So they have like brought excitements, they brought purpose, they like that feel of belonging and a community back. To be honest with you, this concept never went away. It was just always coming in different shapes. Like we had CrossFit at some point, then we had like obstacle challenges, and then it was like, I don't know, Spartan races, Tough Mudder. Like there was always something that's like a high intensity. So it was one of the things that you never really saw it to disappear completely. Maybe it would come in with different like shapes and forms and names, and it all comes back again to say, hey, this idea of like competitive, challenging type of part of fitness community is here to stay for long, right? So you should always get involved with it because you know that has a very, very strong, potential in it. Another major one that I can think of is recovery. Like recovery making a massive gain. I could honestly say it's almost as equal as the training in fitness now. There was a time that recovery was a luxury. Like now it's an expectation from people and members. So like getting involved with services or having modalities in the fitness industry, like stretch modalities like fascial stretch therapy, the compression therapy, the red light therapy, the contrast therapy. Like there's a lot more tools coming in from recovery, and people see how much of a value it brings forward. And premium clubs are now building recovery memberships from it, right? So my team, I put like a massive focus on building our recovery service programs, and got close to 30% of our team members getting educated on that one, that we can expand that service. So if someone is in a fitness professional, and there's a huge opportunity within that line, is if you can educate yourself on science of recovery, understanding recovery service, certify yourself within, you become more versatile. There's going to be a time to feel like, so do I want to do 12 hours just the one-on-ones, or have few hours in the one-on-ones, few hours of recovery? Like you start to versatile your service, and you connect with different demographics. So I feel like that's a massive tools that our fitness professionals can get involved with. What else I can remember? I guess like sometimes you think about old becomes new. Like I think people start to get more and more understanding of why that pure strength training is important. And it was a time it was just athletes and young generations. Now from kid to a young to an older adults to seniors, everyone knows how important it is to do strength training, and how important it is for them to create independency, the confidence, the longevity. And I remember we do every year, we send a survey to thousands of people and ask them like, what did they see as values to connect with personal trainers or coaches? And there was a time it was all about weight loss, and everyone now knows that adding lean tissue is equals longevity. So I think people start to get more and more involved with strength training, and that's the best place to be, because that's the core of what coaches are doing. What else I can remember? I guess we got to talk about technology as well. Like I can't miss that one, right? So I think technology and AI, like this is where mindset matters. I would say people get sensitive about technology and AI. So let me just get started with AI is not here to replace coaches. But like if you're a coach, your service, your presence, your relationships with clients are irreplaceable, regardless of looking at it, expansions of technology. But if you don't learn it, you stay behind. So how I look at it is like it helps you because it's a tool to help you more efficient, become more efficient, better tracking for your clients. Like an overall service experience and the quality of what you bring forward gets better when you have this additional tool in front of you. So I'm sure there's more, but these are the few that I can remember from a trend.
You kind of nailed the 5 critical ones, and really gave us an incredible understanding of what is ahead and what is happening. And I loved how you tied in the trends with opening the minds and doors for people to see how their careers can evolve, and also give all our listeners and viewers a reminder that we constantly have to upskill and keep ourselves trained in the latest and the greatest. Doesn't mean you have to do it all, but choose your niche, choose something that will top up your repertoire or your toolbox. And I'm sure with all the things you said about the whole 360-degree wellness, you're not just training one area of the person. That's always been a great philosophy for the best trainers out there. Expanding, performance and the competitive, challenging nature of training today. And I loved how you talked about purpose and community and the sense of belonging, like with High Rocks. Oh my gosh, I found my whole new community through that. But it also inspired me to train better, differently, hire a trainer, stay committed to my strength training that I've always been passionate about, but level myself up. And it helped me build confidence when I had an opportunity to go out there and compete with myself and my self-belief. And it's actually been transformative, just having that community of fellow competitors to cheer us on. And it's been so great. And there's no age barrier to all of the things that you talked about. And that's, I think, the other trend is we're seeing, if I could top that up with a cherry on top, is when we started, there was always that sort of one generation, the boomers, who had the insight to make fitness part of their lifestyle, not a luxury, as our parents probably thought fitness was more of a luxury then. Yeah. But now we have 5 generations within not only our clubs, but within us, also our teams, or expanding those generations, which is also great because we can now really connect with more individuals who are seeking what we offer. So it really is a great opportunity. And you really did tie the two together, the trends with the opportunities for careers.
Yeah, 100%. I believe like we've had some conversation around this, but there was a time that we made this strategic decision to change the name from personal training to performance coaching. And the whole concept came from, we look at our coaches and we just paused and asked a simple questions as, is this still describes what we're doing? And the answer was no, because our coaches were doing a lot more than just the one-on-one side, right? So they got involved in recovery, they got involved in Pilates, they got involved in nutrition, they learned how to work with habits and behaviors. And when I look at this, is like why we made the changes like in our name was they deserve it, because they were doing a lot more than what the classic personal training used to be. So wow, just to tie it into it, like when I looked at this as a 360-degree wellness, to say, well, let's reinvest on this because it allows us to start to expand to what they can do and versatile their services as well.
Oh, I love that. Actually, my next question was, how can fitness professionals position themselves to thrive in the shifting environment? So with what you just said and tying into why you made the name change to what you do, perhaps can you lend some advice on how someone should rethink their career plan, or how they can navigate their career in this evolving environment? What would be one piece of advice you would give someone?
You said it best at the beginning. I say first is you got to find your niche, right? So that's the first questions we always ask anyone who join. As I say, well, who do you want to be known as, right? Because that's going to allow you to say, hey, it's not about just taking every certification is out there. Like I can put you on a path to know that I'm taking certification to master my niche. So how do we allow you to master your niche? you also have to understand the demographic that you are, right? So and I've had these honest conversations, and we have coaches say, like, I want to train athletes, and I'm like, great that you want to train athletes, but are you in a space and demographics that you will be able to expand? And so what does it make sense at this point? And is it still is you're passionate about it, it allows you to start to grow, and then we can put you in the right path of education. And I always share my own story as, like, before I come to Canada, I worked a lot with highly competitive people, bodybuildings, and there was a lot around like that side of fitness. And I came here, and my first client had pain, and I had no idea what to do with it. So I had to completely shift my educations around learning assessments and understanding how to work with pain, and I worked and went as many, God knows how many certifications to understand how to work with pain, and I also then became Milad trainer of the broken people, or let's call them Milagic, and I got all the nicknames around how do you work with pain, and my niche ends up being pain management and injury preventions, and that was my niche that creates successes. So that's not the only niche, but do you want to be the weight loss guru? Do you want to be the athletic and conditioning guy? Do you want it to be the rehabilitations? Like, what's the directions you want to have? And then let's start to find the right path of educations, and then allow you to master your niche. And in that way, you can be able to become unique to yourself, and then be able to become very successful with what you do.
Perfectly said. We're listening to Milad Emadi, and he's just given us the biggest piece of knowledge for all of us to think about is master your niche. And then I might say that once you master your niche, never get comfortable. Always be evolving or shifting. As trends shift, you shift. But again, you could do that with exactly what you said, Milad, is find your niche. So within all of the trends you shared, there's obviously an area that's going to really connect with one performance coach or trainer over another, and then find that path. And if you haven't found someone to follow that path, such as a mentor doing it already, become that mentor for others and find the path. That's really the definition of leader from the Euro-Greek language, path finder. It's not there, create it and help others find it so that they can then follow along in your path and, again, pass you by and become the future leader, which is what we really desire as leaders, is to mentor the future generation of performance coaches. And we are desperately in need of more trainers, coaches, instructors in our industry, because thankfully Canadians are waking up to realize that they need to take healthcare into their own hands, and fitness and 360-degree wellness is up to them to navigate. So that's a wonderful piece of advice. And I want to switch gears a little bit, because we are at that time of year where goal setting is one of those things that, kind of not only is on the minds of a lot of people at the top of the year, resetting goals or resolutions. I call it goal setting. But it's also, really the key to success. At least I believe that. I'd love to hear your philosophy around goal setting, and maybe you can share with us what your approach is to setting goals, not only with your clients, but if you also want to share how you set goals with your team to help them strive for success. And then we can ask the next question, but I'll start there.
For sure. Let me think for a second on how do I break this down that's as supportive as I can be. So I believe and I go back to the psychology of how we work with our coaches as well. I say goals are typically goes into two sides, right? So you have the emotional side of goals, and then you have your technical aspect. And as you were asking about the clients versus coaches, I think clients want things that are simple, and it's really, you have to go after their whys and emotions of why they have to make decisions, right? So when we say a goal always starts with an emotion, so every goal has to have a why behind it, and emotion creates actions. So instead of basically thinking about our technical side to say, well, let's make this a SMART goal only, and then say how many pounds you wanted to lose or whatnot. And these are all important, but I feel that's the side that coach has to take care of. And what you need to do to support the clients to make actions would be understanding of why they decide. Are they feeling tired of feeling stuck? Are they afraid of things going into the wrong directions? Is that confidence needs to come up? So we have to start to change the way that we ask it questions if we wanted to help them to set up a goal settings, like why now is the right time, like is what have you tried before, what barriers do you have, like what are you afraid is going to happen if you're not taking a start, like put them on a pendulum psychologist, like what's the best case and what's the worst case, like let's allow them to start to see and then really picture what's going to help them to say, hey, it's a time right now and commitments is in there. And then we can take the technical side, and those are all important, but let the expert and the SMEs and the coaches to say, well, like, how do we now put this into a right plan? So I think that's the part that coaches have to get really, really good at, is like what's important for the persons that sit in front of you. And that's that, we have to create a space for them that they feel safe, and if they feel understood, they don't feel judgment, and they feel supported, so they can be able to share. And then we can actually find a way to get them commitments. And so in order to do that, the coach has to be really thinking about the space and environments that they're creating. Like, is your space, your tone, your empathy, your clarity, your body language, your knowledge, like that's what it creates value for someone. Says like, it's time for me to get started, right? So show them that you're in this together, you're in control of your decisions, and you genuinely care for them to guide them through that. So that's the part that I would feel like in client side, we got to get really skilled, and our coaches skilled to help people to start to take actions. From a coach's side perspective, it's something that is in a part of our jobs, and I support our leaders to start to think is, I feel like there's a two side into it. Like we have a side that's always about the goals and outcome, which don't get me wrong, it's important. Like, every coach wants to have more clients, more hours, more income. But for me, those are outcomes. And you can't just set goals on outcomes. You got to have the right behaviors, right skills, right support, and enough repetitions of the right behaviors and supports to really make it happen. So, like rather than just saying, hey, what do you want to get 12 months from now, or where you want it to be, is to start to think about those small behaviors that you can give you a win short term, so you can start to have a strong goals, right? So like I would ask a coach and say, hey, like what skills do you want to improve this year to get those goals, right? So is it your communication? Do you want to get stronger at sales? Like in your programming, is your presence on the floor has to be better? Like what do you want to do professionally to be in a much better spot? And then how do we build these behaviors is about, well, what educations are you going to commit to? Like number of daily interactions you're going to build, with members. Like what's the repetitions, the practice, and who you want to mentor you. Like that's what starts to build their skills, and that's what's going to set them to success. So you need the perfect practice. So you have to goal set on those behaviors. You need to put repetitions. You need to have the right support. You need to have the leaderships. And then that way you have a very confident and a consistent way of knowing that this is going to happen. It's not just the outcome that I'm hoping for 12 months down the road. So like I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm going to put this together. It's like everyone needs a recipe, and it's important to have that recipe more than thinking about just the end outcome. And that's going to help you have a very solid goal in place.
That is very, very good. Lots of great advice. And it's interesting because often we say, we think about, well, I'm working towards it's always about the outcome, the destination. And we sometimes forget to focus on the journey. And then, as you put it, have a recipe for that journey so that you're not just chancing it, or, oops, I got there, I didn't, why not? Or why did I? Having that recipe, that thought out plan. And I loved how you said, deciding what it is, putting it into action, finding the right training for yourself so that you can achieve those goals, just like you'd help a client, but also having a mentor. As you answered the advice you gave is so great for both, what your clients will be looking for, but also you as the leader. If someone is striving to soar in their career as a health and fitness professional, how would you help someone find a mentor or a coach? What kind of advice or steps would you help, or recipe would you give them?
Well, we have to understand what skills they wanted to improve on. Like how I look at it is, say, like for every coach, we have a criteria, like those buckets that they wanted to really put master on, like could we be able to find that skills that they want to get really good at, and give them some guidelines around educations and fitness. If I look back again to fitness industries, like I believe that the whole education system of fitness industry has changed and evolved as well. Like there was a time that we spent so much time on assessments and programming designs and executions of our exercises, and I invested so much, and they're all great stuff. But like we really realized that we got to put the same amount of energy and educations on people learning how to show up, how to present themselves, like what's their vocal image look like, what's their communication skills. Like I put a lot of focus on communications and presentations with my team. Like how to connect with people, how to interact, like what's their mental toughness would be. So, there's a lot of different type of skills that exist. That first is we have to find opportunities to say, okay, well, like in order to now achieve that opportunities, what directions to go, who do we set you up on, and for leaders to be very successful, they got to also lead by examples. Like if you wanted to be able to help someone and guide them or mentor them or be able to connect them with the right persons, like you also have to lead by example. Say like, am I doing the same thing for myself, right? So am I putting the same amount of education and skill on myself, and lead by example to someone look and say, hey, whenever I can be the go-to persons to say, hey, which navigate and I can challenge you.
Yeah, so well said. And that is truly the best way to be that leader that you desire to be, is to start with self. It's kind of like you got to put your own oxygen mask on before you help others on the plane. Well, same goes for leadership. You got to, first of all, lead by example and do the work yourself, and learn so you can share that experience. And then I liked your point about depends what you're, it depends really where you want to develop. And it's following those people who have themselves focused on that area that attracts you to that style of leader or that part of leadership that you're looking to hone those skills for yourself. And I think you and I both have been blessed to have many great mentors. Those have led in the industry that even if they didn't know we looked to them for mentorship, we followed by curiosity alone. Sometimes mentors don't even know they're a mentor. So that's the other important point, is show up every day like the leader you desire to be, because you never know who is watching, listening, following, and you want to be the example that you speak to, not just speak to, but practice yourself. Well said. I could, Milad, we could talk for so long. I would love to dive in deeper on your leadership journey, and yet you've imparted so many lived skills and examples. Before we close off our show today, I know there'll be listeners that will be either just starting their career or looking to level up as a seasoned pro. Conversation, I'm certain, has fueled their attention. If for anyone who wants to reach out and speak with you, connect with you, follow you, could you share with us how we can find you on social or anywhere else?
Absolutely. I try to, keep I'm a little bit old school, but I'm always checking my LinkedIn. I'm always checking my social media. So, and I know many people message me, especially through LinkedIn. I see a lot, and I do apologize if I don't respond right away, but I'm always going to get back to people. And I generally love to connect with fitness professionals and have a great conversations and support any way I can. But, any of the platforms from LinkedIn, if you search my name, you can be able to find it, and social medias. Obviously, MOVATI Athletic, it's a very easy way to be able to search any of our leaders. And I have a great team of leaderships that they're all open to meet and greet and just to start conversations. And all of them are going to be happy to support. So I'm looking forward to 2026, looking forward to have more and more people in the industries, versus growing the industries and building our reputations. And second is connecting directly with myself. And I'm typically not sitting in one location, so I'm all over the place, with 18 plus locations around. But if you would reach out to me, I would make myself available, and we're gonna start great conversations. And if I can support any way, it's on for me to be able to help someone to navigate their careers in the best way possible.
Well, thank you for that. You are as generous as you are kind and smart and successful, and we are grateful. I'm very proud to have leaders in the industry like yourself. And I know that you're creating through your 400 member team, the future leader, the evolving and shifting fitness and wellness leader that we desperately need. And together, because we are very, I think we could say we are very fortunate here in Canada, which may not be the case in other areas of the world, to be a self-governed industry. There are some pros and cons, but the pro is being the pro and setting the example and the standard and all of the great things you said today, Milad, about setting the bar and continually raising that bar. And that's what will inspire the future generation of fitness and wellness leaders. And for that, I can say is a perfect example of what leaders do. So to all our listeners, again, whether you're thinking about a shift in your own career or you're looking to take your career to the next best level, I hope today's conversation has fueled your confidence to elevate your impact in 2026. Milad has said it many ways through his examples. Keep learning, keep leaning in. Failing is not failure. It's just moving forward in your learning. And I'm sure you'll agree, Milad, that we learn much more from our failures than we do from our successes.
100%. If I could add something, well, first of all, I got to thank you again. I think what you do in industry is so special, and I appreciate and honor that I can be able to, have this conversation with you. But it's something that I always advise my team as, and I think it might be worth for our team to your listeners and anyone who's a fitness leader or fitness professionals to have. And I hope it goes in the right places. So if you're a fitness leader, here's my advice. Every fitness professional you work with has a potential. And the moment that you step into leadership, you're taking a full responsibility to help them to find it and to reach it. So I've always had this mindset that I said, no matter who's that person that's in front of you is today or what positions they are in, imagine a bubble over their head, and inside that bubble is their best version. And that should be the persons that you speak to every day. And that should be persons that you're coaching. So not the stage that they are. That's how you're going to start to build a culture that's unbreakable. And that's how you're going to become a great leader. And for our fitness professionals, no matter where you work, we all share the same responsibility. We got to elevate the fitness industries, to show what a powerful, respectful career fitness industry is. So always lead by integrity, find your niche, master it, never stop learning. And you do that, you become unstoppable. So appreciate your time. I'm grateful of all these conversations, and I'm looking forward to the next time we can connect.
Absolutely. And there will definitely be a next time. And through all the lessons here today, I can think of incredible ideas for you to speak again in the future with CanFit Pro. So many great opportunities through all the diversity in your knowledge. So thank you so much, Milad. And thanks everyone for tuning in, and continue to do so. Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations here at A Moment with Mo. Bye for now.